Oh my gosh, my voice is working and everything. Hey everybody, and welcome. Thanks for stopping by here. It's John Park's Workshop. And let me just put some of these things away here because I was jamming, making some fun little tunes for our intro there. So there's gear everywhere. There's a little hint about what we're working on. C. Grover in the Discord chat asked, hey, what are we up to today? Well, it's going to be this. It's going to be our YouTube PyPortal stats display for views and subscribes. So let me, first of all, have a look over in the chats. We got people in Discord chat, and we've got people in our YouTube chat. Hello, everybody. Hey, Matambale. Hey, Rodney D. Welcome. Hey, Destels. Thanks for saying hi. Good afternoon to you, too. I apologize because I've got a 3D print going that's actually for today's project. At the last minute, I decided to add something to this. So that's allegedly going to be done in about 8 minutes. So we'll put up with that sound for a little bit. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can. All right, so let's see. What have we got going on today's show? Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, have I told you about the Adafruit jobs board? I think I have, but if I haven't, if you haven't heard it before, go check it out. Go check out jobs.adafruit.com. It is a jobs board where you can go to look for work. It is also a jobs board where you can look to hire people. In fact, let me show you what it looks like right here. I'm going to pull this site up, and here we go. This is jobs.adafruit.com. You can see right here, someone named David Lawrence Flynn in Stratford, Connecticut is looking to hire a contract Arduino programmer. How about that, huh? What else have we got? Creative Code Specialist Technician at the London College of Communications. Help with the circuit Python project from DCS Concepts. I think we saw that one before. Also in Connecticut. Connecticut is apparently the hot spot for all of the jobs people. So go check it out. It is free. That's one of the really great things about jobs.adafruit.com. It's an entirely free jobs board. So you can post your resume, or you can post if you're looking for someone to hire, and it's all entirely free. Yes, it is. What else have I got for you? How about this? How about let's talk about your coupon code for the week. So with this coupon code, tubers, as in YouTubers, tubers, I don't know if people call YouTubers tubers or not. They're not starchy like a tuber, are they? I don't think human beings are all that starchy. But regardless of those facts, and maybe someone can fact check me in the chat, regardless, you can get 10% off in the Adafruit store using this coupon code tubers. And I'm sorry, last week I had a mistake in my coupon code time frame, so it wasn't working at first. So hopefully, I think I double checked or triple checked it this time, so it should work for you. Please let me know in the comments if it doesn't, because I'll check those and get it right in working order for you. I really feel it'll work this time. So 10% off in the store, that'll get you 10% off on anything in your Adafruit cart. Cool parts, cool tools, other than software, gift certificates, and subscriptions. Say, speaking of subscriptions, we have sold out of Adabox 11 subscriptions. It's true. If you were paying attention, we had a countdown going for a few weeks telling you when we were selling through and how low we were getting. So it started off at 4,000, worked its way down to 0. So there's 0 available for Adabox 11, but you should probably consider setting a little reminder on your calendar for 12 in case you missed 11 and you want to get 12, all right? Couple of other administrative things that reminds me of. I will be out next week. It is spring break. I know it's an early spring break, but that's how it is here in Southern California. We have an early spring break, so I will be out for the week. Then I will be back, and I will be right here on John Park's Workshop. But next week I will not be here. So the following week, yes. Next week, no. What else have I got for you? Hey, how about a product of the week? So product of the week this week is this little beauty. This is the Pros Kit PCB clamp. In fact, I've got one right over here. Let me run and grab it. So you can see this is a clamp for holding a PCB specifically. You could probably hold some other things, but I use it for PCBs when you're soldering. So that's the Pros clamp there. And you can see on it, it has a circuit board on there that's actually from the Zoxbox kit. And this leg here adjusts to clamp the board. In fact, let's grab a board. How about, all right, I've got this little guy. This is my, my C. Grover name badge. So if I were going to do some work on this, and it's going to be a little tricky because of the battery that's already on there, so I'm going to go sideways on it. You can see you've got, you can get pretty close, and then you've got different depths of the jaws that will clamp into your board. So if I go into the board, let's say like so, there's a little spring on there that'll help give you some force, and you can lock that spring in, and you can lock in the leg. And now it's going to hold it nice and tight for you on your workbench while you're soldering or doing other work. You can loosen just this clamp, and that allows you to rotate it, which I find really helpful with through-hole soldering. This is a surface mount board, but for through-hole soldering, I've been making some kits such as C. Scott Ryder, Mr. Old Crow. I built one of his synthesizer modules for Eurorack, and it was a through-hole, so I was constantly flipping over to put in parts, flipping it back, soldering them, snipping, and back and forth. So I found this to be a really handy clamp. I think this is one that Colin found for us. Colin Cunningham discovered this and thought it was cool, and Lady Ada put it in the store. So that is our product of the week. So go check it out. It's called the Pros Kit PCB clamp. And it is not too expensive either. Yeah, I see Destel's mentioned the... he had some of those boards he's used for a couple years, and then he's upgraded to the Uber Panavice. Yeah, Panavice are super great. I love those too. Somewhat different needs. Those are, I have mine at least on a big base, so in some places that works well. This, sometimes I want to put it under my microscope, and so it's nice to have that width of the feet that can slip over it. So check it out, and that is your product of the week. So you know what that's going to do? That's going to bring us right up to this. Yeah, that's it. It's the MakeCode Minute. So today what I want to talk about in MakeCode Arcade is the use of the animation extension. So we're going to create a little bit of facial animation for our Adabot here. So first of all, I'm heading to Advanced Extensions, and then I added the animation extension. Since I added it already, you're not going to see it here. But once you click that, you get this animation menu in the categories list over here. And from here, I can do things like set an animation, add frames to the animation, attach the animation to a sprite, and choose a condition to activate the animation. So what you'll see here is I have my Adabot sprite that I built, and now I have made it move with buttons. So we're used to this behavior where I can move it around using the buttons or arrow keys. And now I'm setting an animation, which I'm calling the blink animation. I'm giving it an interval, so this is how quickly it'll page between frames of the animation. And then what I've gone and done is gradually animated these eyes blinking. So if you look at each of these sprites, I'm just copying and pasting the sprite block once I have one of them, and then going and adjusting it so that it blinks open and close. And then I have an idle animation, which is what it returns to, which is just the sort of default position. So what you can see here is now with the on button A pressed, I tell it to activate the animation that I called blink on this sprite Adabot. And I'm also adding a little spray effect. So the idea here conceptually is that these are some spicy tacos. So I'm going to hold down the A key to have my animation engage. And so you can see it's going through those blink animation cycles. Each time I press it once, it goes through the cycle. And it also activates that spray, and it deactivates. You can see it goes to idle animation when I'm done holding that button, and it clears the effects. And so that is really simple, I think, a really great way to have extra animation in your characters. This could be walk cycles, it could be things that happen when your character collides with something. You can basically trigger your animation with any event that can be recognized on your sprite. So that is how you can add facial animation to your character inside of MakeCode Arcade. How cool is that, huh? I actually don't know much about that. I found it very easy to use. I haven't asked anyone over at MakeCode team about it, so I don't know if that was an internally built one. There's some that seem to come from third parties, but I think that's an internal one. So we'll learn more about it together, because I think it'd be really fun to do walk cycles and things like that, where it makes your code a little more compartmentalized. So you have animation events that happen that can be often separate functions, and then your movement code and collision code can be separate, so you can kind of pull things apart. So I was really impressed by how easy it is to use the animation system inside of MakeCode Arcade. All right, well, you know what? That brings us to our project build. So first of all, we've got 51 seconds allegedly remaining on this 3D print. And it looks like it's pretty good. I set the settings to be pretty darn fast just to get it done in time. And it has pretty large height. I think it's 0.4 millimeter height per layer. So this won't be a gorgeous print, but it's going to get the idea. And then I'm going to redo a nicer one that I'll use for the guide. So the project you've seen here, this is my YouTube counter on the PyPortal. And so what this has, let's switch over to this, switch over to this view here. What this has is a PyPortal, which I've connected to a 3D printed stand designed by the Ruiz brothers that you can get up on Thingiverse or anywhere where fine Adafruit 3D models are carried. And then using some of these nylon standoffs, I've hooked it up here. And you can see it's displaying the number of views that we have on our Adafruit YouTube account, as well as the number of subscribers. And then we'll look at the code here, but every so often we have an interval set in there. It's going to go and check and see. There you can see it just jumped up to 31,143 subscribers. So someone just subscribed. If anyone else wants to subscribe, go ahead. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do it, and we'll see that number continue to climb up during the show. You might not have heard it, but it also did the coin ding sound, which is pretty cool. And so this is using the Google APIs to pull down JSON data. And we're actually grabbing two different pieces of JSON data, the views amount and the subscribers amount, and then we're displaying them with PyPortal. So let's have a look at the code, because the amazing thing is how easy this is. So how about we'll look at the code here in Moo, and I'm going to just try to zoom that up a whole bunch so you can see it a little better. And some of it will get cut off. I don't think we have soft wrapping inside of Moo. So here you'll see it says it requires a YouTube API key. So if you've been following along with these PyPortal projects, we have a text file, or it's a Python file actually, called the secrets.py file. And in there you will put things like your Wi-Fi password and SSID and any API tokens that you need to access something. And the reason for this is that the API doesn't want to get pinged constantly, or it'll slow things down over at the big Google server in the sky. So you have to have a user account, and then it can at least keep some sanity with the number of hits that you can make. Oh, look, the print is finishing up. Yay. Ooh, it's a little rough looking, but we'll let that cool, and then I'll peel it off. So you can see here we're going to go and import the PyPortal library, as well as time and board. And then from secrets, we're going to go out and grab the info that we need for our login to our Wi-Fi. This uses your local Wi-Fi, as well as our key. Now you'll see here we're setting up to fetch the info on a channel. So this is not secret information, it's just something you need to go and find. And I'm writing up a guide, and I'll show you where to get this. But if you have a YouTube account, you can go and find out the channel ID. And so that's part of the query that we're going to make to the Google API. And then we also have a variable here for the caption, and that's just what's going to be displayed down at the bottom. So let's see if I can pop that back on for a second there. You see you've got this youtube.com/Adafruit. So then here is this string that is the URL that we're going to go to. It's googleapis.com, and then YouTube, v3, channels, part, statistics, and then your channel ID, which is going to grab from that variable, and then your secret token. So what I've done is I've already, just so I can show you how this works, I've taken that and I've sort of resolved that URL. And if I pop over to my browser for a moment, you can see here this is the results, let me zoom that up a bit, of me having entered in that query using my API token, my user token, as well as that channel. So this is the JSON file that we get back. And so inside of Firefox here, it has this nice beautifier. So I can look at, this is how it comes. So their raw file looks like that. And then this is the prettified version of it that makes it a little easier to understand the structure. So the structure of this is we have at sort of the root level of the JSON file, the key called kind, the key called etag, page info, and then items, and then a subtree underneath that in this item 0 gives us the tag and ID, and then in this other subtree, statistics, we get view count and subscriber count, and a few other things. I don't know what video count is. Oh, that's how many we have. Okay, so that's 3,782 videos on the channel, on the Adafruit channel. So that data is what we're going to use in the rest of the query. If I can hide that there. Or rather in the rest of these variables that you see when we instantiate the PyPortal item. So when this is constructed, we have that URL, the JSON path, which already has been resolved with the ID for the channel and the token. And then we also set a background. Let me move this over to the side. We set a background image. So there's this 320 by 240. I have that right? Yeah, I think it's 320 by 240 BMP file, 16-bit color. And we also specify the font, which has been created, a bitmap font that's been created from the collegiate typeface, in this case, at the size 50. And then we have another one that's at size 24. So those are the sizes that we're using to create the text that you see on the display. And then we're also setting the text position. And this actually changed recently. So if you've been using PyPortal already, if you're one of the lucky early adopters of the 50 or so that are out there in the world right now, you will notice that any projects that you've created before, the type has probably moved on you. And that's because things have been set to the upper left pixel of the, I think it's called the glyph, but it's the collection of type there. So I had to adjust these and move these around a bit, but now I can set in X and Y the first and second pieces of label info or text info, and then we also have this caption, and it's at 40 and 220, so it's down towards the bottom. So that's what creates the object. Now when it runs, it's going to go and grab those two things from using the PyPortal fetch command. It goes to the URL, it looks at the JSON file, and then it grabs the values for those two keys, so views and subs. And then it's going to print them. So it prints the word subscribers and then that value of subs, and then the word views and that value of views. And then we're also printing some stuff to the console. So you can see in my console down here at the bottom, it says new subscriber right at the bottom of my screen there. So that it just dinged, and that's when we got up to, oh, another one, 31,144 subscribers. So then we sleep for a minute. Oh, you can see here when we get a new subscriber also, we're going to play the coin sound. So the coin is that ding sound is a WAV file that's sitting at the root level of the drive. And that's about it. So that's how it works. So looking back now at a nice big copy of this, you can see how pretty it is. And if we wait, I'll just wait a couple seconds to see if that increases while I go and, let's see if I can give you the background view, while I go over here and peel off my 3D print. It says it's cooling down, but I just got impatient, so I'm going to peel it off there and try not to bend it. I use these really thin spatulas that are like paint knives for oil painting, so I use these to peel off my print from the bed. So you can see this is definitely not gorgeous. Let me turn this off too. This has kind of a loud fan. Okay, but that is my 3D printed cover that I wanted to make for the screen here. So it'll set there like that and kind of complete the effect of that YouTube styling. I thought it might be fun to make like a little TV set, but I knew I wouldn't have time to print that. So one little 3mm bezel was about all I had time to print when I thought of this. So let's take I'm going to peel off the brim that I have on this little brim. If you're not familiar with 3D printing, this little brim is a few lines that I have it print to help adhere the print to the bed. You probably don't need it in this case because this is a short print, but that's just my default settings and I didn't mess with them. Bravo Delta in our Discord says that I should do a Bob Ross impression when using the paint knife to peel off the print. Happy little PLA bezels. There we go. All right, that's as good as that's going to get. So you'll notice this, let me go to a bigger screen there. You'll notice this has some holes in it for the mounting screws as well as the light sensor, which we're not using in this project, but I figured I would keep that on there. So, in fact, I'm going to unplug this and go over to the workbench just because that's a little more convenient setup over there for showing things in the overhead. And how about that view there? Zoom in a whole bunch. I also had printed in pink for this stand just because I liked it, but now I've got this super high contrast pink and red action going on, which is kind of fun. So what I'm going to use for this is these nylon screws and standoffs. We have white and black in the store, and they're M2.5. I made these holes big enough for M3 because for some of my projects I was using an M3, but we'll see if it'll work with this instead. So I'm just going to unscrew the short M3 or M2.5 screws that I have in there right now. And I should be able to just use a slightly longer screw. I think we have 8mm long ones in the kit that'll work to put this right on top of there and then go into those standoffs. Sorry, that does not want to focus. There you go. So digging into the kit a little bit, I think these ones should be long enough. And so I'm just going to pop those through like that. And that's not quite long enough. All right, let's get, these will probably be too long, but I'll see, because you can't go too far into those. Oh, maybe. Okay, so these are these longer ones. I think these might be a 12mm or a 10mm. So we'll go through like this. And that does line up. That's good. Always a nervous moment there to see, did you actually build your CAD model properly? Oh yeah, that stands even further off than I thought. All right, so I might need, we'll see if that fits through there. I might need a different design of arrangement of standoffs and screws. Okay, let's see if I can get enough purchase to stick in there. Oh yeah, I'm liking this red and pink. It's not very on brand for YouTube, but I like it. Okay, and hopefully that's not putting too much pressure on the board. There we go. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool, huh? Let's see, I can probably steal some power over here and get that lit up. Let's grab a cable. Here's one. All right, so I'm just going to take a USB cable and power it off of my laptop that's sitting here. I also have exciting news about my laptop there. I'll show you in a second. We're keeping my old laptop working. All right, so there it goes. So there's the boot. And I'll bring the mic down close so you can hear it when it, I think it may ding automatically on the first. So right now it is probably connecting to my Wi-Fi. It displays the background image before the Wi-Fi. Text. Okay, so there's the caption text. Yeah, there we are. So we're up to 31,145. We've gotten a few subscribers during the course of the show. Ooh, I really like this. This bezel came out really nicely. I think, you know, we could also do things where we have holes in the backside of it so you don't see these screws, but I think it's really adorable. Come on, look at that thing. So that is your project of the week, is our YouTube stats counter. And I wanted to show you, let's see, we just have a couple minutes. I think that's enough time. Okay, let me give you a real quick thing. One is, I just got a replacement battery for this 2012 MacBook Air that I have. So I got this a few years ago used from a friend actually to work on my pizza box DJ. I didn't have a laptop that was good at the time, so I got this to work on that pizza DJ project. And I just upgraded it to Mojave and cleaned up the hard drive a bunch and decided to get a new battery. So I think for like $80 from iFixit, this is the old battery. It was a really easy replacement. There's the old battery pack in there in case you're wondering what that looks like for MacBook Air. It's 4 of these LiPo cells. And the nice thing was the iFixit, I've had this little set of security bits for a long time from iFixit, and we sell one in the store that's a reduced set, but it has what you need, which is a Torx 5, T5, and a Pentalobe P5. And those are the screws that you need to get into the backside of this. Happens to be a pretty easy one. I was worried it was going to be a lot of digging around, but it's actually an easy laptop to change the battery on. So I highly recommend that, because I'm guessing that's cheaper than getting it done officially or at a repair shop. Okay, so that was that. And then the last thing is, if we have just a minute left, I wanted to show you something really cool. If you're interested in sort of faking your results or testing things or spoofing things, if you take a look here at the downshooter. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the PyPortal back in. Easier said than done. There, are you the... Where's the data cable for this? I think it was this one. I've got a lot of USB cables around, as you might also have in your life. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is gonna, let's see if I can get that propped up a little more. Oh, it's my USB cable dragging it down. This thing doesn't have a lot of weight to it. All right, that's good enough. So if you take a look now, let me move this over here. And I'm going to bring up the Atom. Okay, so inside of Atom here, which is my text editor, you see this file here, it's called local.txt. And this looks an awful lot like that JSON file we explored before, because it is that JSON file we explored before. I copied it and pasted it and saved it as a file called local.txt. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one of these numbers. Let's make our subscriber count go to 77777. And now I'm going to save that file. That's just saved it. I think that's the one that's local yet to my CircuitPython drive. And now I should be able to put that at the root level. So right now it's sitting in a folder just so that the CircuitPython program isn't seeing it. But now I'm going to put it on my root level of the CircuitPython drive. So it's going to restart the drive. And now what you'll see is, let's see, I may need to restart this guy. When it boots up the PyPortal library, instead of connecting via Wi-Fi, when it sees that file, it's going to go directly to use that file rather than pull down the info from the web. And I haven't tested it in a while, so this is live testing of something that may or may not go well. Let's see. Now, what we found was sometimes, oh, it's doing this weird thing. It's giving me, yeah, let me see. Let me try one last time and also reset it. I may have tempted fate a little too much here with this one. But when this mechanism is working, it's actually really helpful if you're doing things like adjusting your font positions, because rather than waiting for it to connect to the Wi-Fi, when it's working, it actually pops up pretty quickly. Actually, I'm just going to go into Moo and see. Let's leave it alone for one more second. Okay, that's not using the local.txt file. Did I do that wrong? Let's see. Oh, I'm not seeing it show up on my computer either. All right, let me try this one last time. And otherwise, if I get it working well, I'll put it in the guide. It's kind of a fun trick. It also can stroke your ego by saying you've got millions of subscribers, even when you don't. And let's see. So local.txt, where did you go? Did I put it into another folder? Oh, that's weird. It is not. Yeah, I screwed that up. Okay, let me save that out of Atom. And let me pull it out to that level. Okay, and now we'll restart it. We'll see. There, I don't know if I killed it while I was trying to write it or something like that. That could be the problem. Yeah, I think it's not supposed to try to connect to that. So I think I've done something bad to the file system. Yeah, it's making it disappear. So, okay, something's wrong with my my setup here. But when that works, it's very cool. So I will show that to you in the guide if I get that working again. But it was a little kind of behind the scenes thing. There's a flag inside of the PyPortal library that says, should we check for a local.txt file? And if it's there, then it grabs data from there instead of going and grabbing it from the REST API calls. But sorry, I couldn't be a liar to you because it is just working. So that is our project for the week. And I want to thank you again for coming and stopping by. I'll just mention one last time, we've got this little coupon code there, tubers, that will get you 10% off in the store. If you're interested in getting a PyPortal, definitely go and sign up for... Oh, someone's just mentioning, I didn't break the JSON by deleting a comma or something. Don't you have an error in your code? Those lines look like a stack trace. Yeah. You know what? I think I screwed up this. I did screw this up. I don't think I need... all right, I'm going to try this one last time. So we'll go a little long, all right? Let me switch back to show you what I'm doing in Atom here. But that coupon code, don't forget that one. We'll come back to that. All right, so I think maybe I just want the subscriber count and view count here like this. No, you know what? That's not going to work. No, because it's not going to find it through the traversal. Okay, yeah, I've screwed something up, but I'll try to correct that later. All right, but thank you for the suggestions. I will chat with you guys in the chat later about fixing this if anyone has ideas about it. So back to that. That is going to get you your 10% off in the store today. So like I was saying, if you're interested in getting a PyPortal, we're out right now, but we'll be making lots more. So you can sign up with email alert, and it'll let you know when one is ready for you to go and get it. And you might want to use 10% off when you fill up your cart. Today, the code is tubers, and that's going to get you 10% off. So, yeah, sorry, Yannick, I deleted a bunch of stuff in that JSON file, so now it's a mess. But it has worked in the past, so I'll get it working again. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And for Adafruit Industries, I am John Park, and I will see you next time, which will be not next week, but the following week, because I'll be out. So thank you again, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.